Alrighty, so for this lesson, we're going to do I'm Looking Over a Four-Leaf Clover. And I was talking to my dad, actually, about ukulele and things. And, you know, I'm telling him that I have some students that do ukulele. And I'm always kind of trying to think of interesting songs and whatever. And he said, you know, growing up, there was a guy, Arthur Godfrey, and we used to listen to him every week. He had a radio show and he used to play ukulele and all kinds of songs, and boy, so ukulele's coming back in style and everything. And I said, it does, it seems to be the last few years it seems to be coming back. And he's like, you know, wow, yeah, Arthur Godfrey. So of course I made a mental note to check out Arthur Godfrey. So Googled him and thought, like, well, what are some of the songs he used to do? And one of the songs was I'm Looking Over a Four-Leaf Clover, which I, of course, know from Bugs Bunny cartoons. But anyway, so I looked it up, and it's a cool song. It's a bunch of chords, and some of them go by a little bit fast, but it's not too bad. I know that you can handle it, and it has a really nice melody that we can play. So anyway, I'm Looking Over a Four-Leaf Clover by Arthur Godfrey, and while I was Googling it, originally it looks like Nick Lucas did a recorded version of it, and I was like, why do I know that name? He was the first jazz guitarist to record as a soloist, and of course guitar started off like a jazz kind of an instrument, and it was just like rhythm, and he sort of stepped forward as a soloist and brought guitar more to the forefront. So anyway, here we are. I'm Looking Over a Four-Leaf Clover, and the arrangement is really simple. So it's just the verse, and then the instrumental section is the verse, and it's the verse just like 3 times with an instrumental section thrown in. So the intro is actually the last line of the verse. Okay, so it's F. And all of these chords are going to be 2 measures, 2 beats each. Sorry. So I'm going to write that, when I type out all the chords. So F, D, C, A7. D7, G7, C, G7. Okay, so F, of course, 2010, D, 2220, C, 0003, and I'm going from the G to the A string. A7, 0100, D7, 2020. And of course, if I'm going fast, you can just pause and rewind the video. G7, 0212, C, we already did, and G7 again. So the intro is, and then we get to the verse. Okay, so the verse is C, 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 D7, 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 G7, G7, C, C, D7, D7, G7, G7, C, 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 D7, 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 F, D, C, A7, D7, G7, C, C. And there it stays on the C. Okay. Then the next part is the instrumental section. Okay, and the chords are exactly the same, or at least, I'm sorry, the next part in the version that I found is the instrumental section. So there's lots of different recordings of this, lots of different keys, all of that. Okay, so the instrumental section, again, is exactly the same. Okay, so I'll play that without saying what the chords are, so you can just play along, because it's the verses, it's everything. Except this actually does the C, G7, G7, C, G7 at the end, whereas the verses stay on the C at the end. But that's really a small difference. Okay, so this is the instrumental section with the G7 at the end. And that's it. Okay, so the version that I found, excuse me, was actually in a different key. But like I said, there's so many different versions that just look around. But anyway, the version that I found was in a different key. But I wanted to do it in C because that's a nice easy key with a lot of nice easy chords to play, all open chords, nothing too complex. And especially for like that last line where it's with those really quick changes, I didn't want it to be like a lot of difficult chords to reach and to get to. So anyway, the version that I found was the intro, which is just that last line that we already did, then the first verse. Then the instrumental section, where there's the little melody over the chords. So it's just the verse, melody, and everything. Then there's a verse, and the version that I found was actually one of the Arthur Godfrey versions. And so after the instrumental, the verse was women singing in harmony. The exact same verse. Exact same as the first verse, same lyrics, same chords, same everything. Then a third verse, which was back to the male voice, Arthur Godfrey, and it was again the exact same chords, exact same lyrics, words, everything, just with a slow, like a retard at the end. So kind of like. And that was really it. So nice and easy. Okay, so now we have the melody. Do that, just so I can read it a little bit easier. Okay, so the melody actually jumps around a lot. Okay, and it's not too bad. Okay, I totally think you can handle it. But you know what? I'm gonna retune because in here, the heat and everything. Yeah, a little bit out of tune, so I'll be right back.